was saying about my hair.
So interesting. Does she have a desire to wear her hair straight at all?
I don't think so. I've never really seen her. She's worn her hair. She has worn it straight, but that was short-lived the few times she did it because I think the amount of work they needed to do to get it to straighten and stay in, since she doesn't have any chemicals or anything in there, like a perm or whatever stuff, it doesn't stay as long. And I think her hair is, it's mixed, right? It's a little bit of mine and Tammy's mixed with everything that she's mixed with. So her hair, although it looks straight black, when it curls up, you can tell it's mixed. Like her and Cal's hair has a slightly different texture to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think one of the interesting things about hair today, with especially young girls and guys, more so young girls don't want to wear their hair straight as much as we wanted to wear our hair straight. However, we really didn't have as much as a choice growing up.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost at a certain point, a chemical relaxer was our rite of passage.
Gotcha.
That's just what it was. I think almost all of my friends had relaxers. And now you are definitely seeing the opposite of young girls wearing their hair naturally and getting it flat iron for a special occasion and really not caring for it being straight. That is interesting. I'm definitely noticing it during the conversations, and I'm here for it because that is a wonderful way to accept yourself, love yourself, be confident, and all of that wonderful esteem that we hope our kids have. So that's awesome. I love it. If you were to have one hair wish for yourself, what would your hair wish be?
Honestly, I would love to have my hair in a big afro and possibly the cornrows. I've always been a fan of the cornrows. And it's funny because I know I could do it, but you got to. I think you got to navigate the balance. You got to find that balance on what's your authentic self. And then some people be like, well, my authentic self, I'm coming to work the way I want to come to work. Well, you can do that, and hopefully you got a job.
Yeah.
You got to find the line between authentic and corporate. Look, you're still at work. So there's still a degree of you need to do what that work environment needs you to be, and you figure out what that balance is for you to bring to that. So for me, it is my style. It's the way I dress. I still have a certain aura about me and how I carry myself that's still very authentic. I wear my Phi Beta Sigma bracelet every time I'm at work. You won't see me without something Sigma on me. So when I'm there, I make sure, because one, I don't know who else I'm going to see that looks like me that might be new at the company looking for something to key in on. And sometimes they see leaders and they're like, oh, I don't know if I can speak to the leadership. Let me give you something there that, if you know what this is, that at least gives some people a glimmer. Oh, this dude might be pretty cool. He's in a black, historically black fraternity. Maybe it's somebody I can reach out to. And so, that's part of me being authentic. And then when I talk to folks, once again, like I said earlier, the merit of your character will determine how our relationship goes.
Yeah. One of the reasons why that I literally wrote down when I was leaving corporate America and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I wanted to wear my hair like I wanted to wear it and it not be a water cooler conversation. I wanted to put on some jeans one day if I felt like it, if it was in the middle of the week instead of waiting for casual Friday, because what I have on is not good. Actually, it might help my work output if I'm feeling more comfortable, confident or whatnot. I was running late for a flight. It was actually Jamila's baby shower. I remember everything. I just relaxed my hair and I hadn't had time to totally curl it. So back then it was in a cute little bob. And my hair actually waved up even with the relaxer. So I was like, hey, I'm going to have to do this wash and go thing because I don't have time to do my hair. I'm going to miss this flight. So by the time I landed in Michigan, I was like, I kind of like this little wild and wavy look. Now, mind you, this was 2001 when nobody wearing their hair like that then. So I realized I could sleep in a little longer before I went to work. Sleep is gonna always win in my book. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this wash and go thing. Crazy. The first day I wore my hair to work like that, my supervisor, black man, Greek, Alpha, he comes in, he was like, everything okay? Like, yeah. He's like, okay, just checking. And I didn't think nothing of it. Like the second day he came in, he was like, hey, were you in a rush this morning? What's going on? I said, rush? He's like, yeah, your hair. I said, no, I meant to do this. This is on purpose. And it's just like, oh, okay. And then I cut it all off. I cut it short, like maybe about an inch on top, and went ahead and blended that bad boy up because that sleep was feeling good. And word got back to me that during a high-level executive meeting that I wasn't even in, like the first part of the meeting was a conversation about my hair. My boss's boss was like, so is Samara growing an afro? And someone who I didn't expect to kind of defend me, he was my supervisor when I was an intern. He was like, no, she's just wearing it natural. She just puts her stuff in there and lets it do its thing. And again, this is in 2001. Yeah. And I'm like, why is my hair a conversation at this high-level corporate meeting? Why? Y'all don't question anybody. Y'all don't question a white woman's hair if they change it or if they want to wear it curly versus doing a round brush. So that's when I started saying, okay, I'm not feeling this. I felt like I was going to work every day dressing up as the character they wanted me to be, whatever fit their box. Even to this day, when you look at pictures from when I was in corporate America, I look older then, well over 20 years ago, than I do now. So I wasn't feeling that part. I felt like I was abandoning myself every time I walked through that door. Has there been more women, though, wearing their hair natural? Have you noticed that over the years? Because I think we can push the boundaries a bit more in corporate America. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I see a lot of sisters wearing their hair beautifully naturally, coming in there with the little baby froze or whatever it is, almost like how Kayla hair was, like that little, I don't know what you would call that. Yeah, I think there's definitely, I think, more leeway with the women in terms of their hairstyles and doing some of the natural looks or non-traditional looks, like we were talking about, not straightening their hair and things like that. I think just the image, there's like how many positive images, and I hate to say this, but I'm just referring to media. I'm talking about like TV or entertainers. How many positive images, if I said think of a couple real quick, can you think of black men with cornrows? Or do you see the gangsters on Menace to Society and Boys to Hood, the movies that everybody done seen? Or you picture the people on the news and stuff like that? That's not the case, because I know some very professional men that have afros, have their own business. They when they get their braids done, they look nice. They look good. There's some good looking men. I'm comfortable with myself, I'll say. You know, they're wearing their hair in the cornrow, so it's not a ghetto style. It is a style. It is truly a dynamic hairstyle that looks good on us. But unfortunately, that's not what the media sees. That's not what's communicated. When people see that, people see folks with that hairstyle, they want to cross the street, they want to get away from those individuals, and unfortunately, they don't want to see that showing up at work.
Yeah, it's a horrible perception, and just, yeah, it's a miscommunicated misperception, a bit of a dog whistle, all that great stuff. Yeah, it's
nobody's going to say you can't do it. Like if somebody say there was, oh, you definitely could wear your and we definitely want you to show up the way you can show up. You're going to hear that, but what does that person's career look like? What do the conversations look like when they're not around? Like you said in your leadership meeting, it's a different take when you're not around. than know somebody's saying something directly to it. HR is never going to come up and say you can't have cornrows.
That's so shameful because that's a lot of companies have missed out on some great talent because of their own opinions and perceptions. So if it were your own company, would you hire the brother with the cornrows more readily? Let's say if
the best talent, I'm whoever gonna help me take this company forward. You can have your cornrows. You can come in there with bell bottoms. I don't care how you coming in. You can come in there with piercings. All that. Hey, if that's your look and that's what makes you feel good, and that's gonna give me the optimal you, bring it. That's who I want on my team. That's who I want on my team. So absolutely.
Yeah. I can. There's a politician in Dallas, and he is known for his cornrows. And I'm kicking myself because his name totally escapes me. I can see his face. And I'll think of his name as soon as I hit end record on this one. Okay. But the really cool thing is he's kind of known for his cornrows at this point, and he definitely has just had the attitude of this is me. Get over it, and we about to handle business. As soon as I stop handling business, maybe we can have this discussion about my cornrows. But and he's been in the community for years.
I think you bring up a good point there. I do believe there's exceptions, and I think those exceptions come. We tend to see those exceptions once they've kind of made it, and so now they're kind of known for what they're doing. But we don't necessarily see that first part of their journey when they were wearing it and probably getting rejected and not, you understand what I'm saying? They were like, I'm going to wear these. I'm going to do this until it's accepted, until you accept me. And I'm going to find a way to prove myself to get accepted. So you can take that route. But I would guess if I was thinking about like my company or something like that, it's going to take you a while to get that proven record, to prove your brand like that, and to get people to the point where they overlook that and just grade you on the merit of your performance. It's a much easier route if you come in there and you're more similar to what corporate America is looking for, because then you've already accepted, you kind of broke some walls already, and now if your merit is performing at the same as here, but you've already started off higher. And that's the unfortunate part. It's not that you can't do it. You absolutely, I think, can get in there and do it. But are you willing to work for those first 5 to 7 years where people doubting you, and then you got to do exceptional too, because you can't just get the job done. If you're gonna come in there looking like that, you better be knocking it out the park. And if you're knocking it out the park, now it gets to the point where, like, he is knocking it out the park with that. That's just his character. Okay, he moves up, and now he's able to do that. But you got to get through that years of knocking it out the park. And building that acceptance in your brand.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't resist looking it up. John Wiley Price. That's who he is. John, shout out to John Wiley Price. He has held it down with his cornrows. Very active, very engaged member of the greater community in Dallas. But it's not an easy path for us to walk with hair at all. Part of Carolyn's conversation that she shared with us was how she was pulled to the side by a mentor about her hair and basically kind of told her to tone it down when she came in for interview. She wasn't feeling that, but she was like, he had a point and he was right. Once she got in there, she felt comfortable, but going in, she said something to the effect of, your hair should not take up the room when they see you.
Wow.
Right. I was like, wow. And that, for them, that's a bit it's not triggering, but it throws them off, unfortunately. But hair in the workplace is serious, and I'm so happy that I could wear my French braids, I can put a scarf on, I can wear it out, whatever I want to do. That's interesting. I like it.
It's super interesting. And it's sad because you still feel like, especially as a minority in corporate America, that you've got enough things potentially stacked against you that you don't need to bring extra stuff to fight against. So it's like, okay, I already feel like I got to go in there and do much better than my colleagues, right? Um, Now, do I want to go in there and fight that on the image as well, where I'm in there with my
Yeah.
ear, I'm in there with my cornrows. You know, when I was younger, I took the fight with my earring. I was like, hey, my work is way better than my component. My little diamond earring made me look good. That's my character. I'm a rocket. That's the route I chose.
Yeah.
Um, but I was gonna come in there with an earring and an afro and cornrows. Okay, now I'm just stacking the deck up. Make
Yeah.
no,
Yeah. Yeah. Intimidation. That was the word I was looking for. Hair, our hair being out and big, taking up a room, seems like it comes across as being intimidating. And that's interesting because Lord knows I'm not a Bible scholar at all. But the Bible speaks of how there is power, crown, and glory in our hair. So, with that intimidation factor being there, it's very interesting that our power, crown, and glory is seen as intimidation. It says way more about the one who is intimidated than the one with the perceived intimidation. Yeah.
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 You just brought up something that I think you might find interesting when you talk about the hair and intimidation. One of the things that I was told, and I've been told this multiple times, and I could kind of validate it by just the differences of when I have my hair versus when I'm bald with just my goatee or something like this. I've been told that when I have hair, I look younger. I look even more approachable and friendly. When I'm bald with my goatee or just bald with my goatee, it's a more intimidating look, and you have a more intimidating, authoritative presence. What's interesting with that is I could totally validate it. And the reason I say that is when I have hair, like if I'm out somewhere, I'll give you an example. If I'm out somewhere and people bump me or you get bumped or something like that, when I have hair and stuff like that, it's just a bump. Like they might keep going. I mean, some people might say excuse me or something like that. When I'm bald and somebody bump me, it's like, oh my bad, big man. It's like my presence is bigger.
Not the big man. They hit you with the big man.
It's like all of a sudden they like, woo, like
Wow.
my presence is totally changed when I have no hair and that versus when I have hair. It's a weird thing, but I've experienced that for years. And I was talking with my Sans one time, and he said, yeah, he was like, when you have that, he's like, if you're in corporate America and you talking, he's like, yeah, they're gonna talk to you that. He said, but when you bald like that, you got to watch how you say stuff because you come in there like it's like it's a different presence that you have. And I'm like, unfortunately, it can work good and bad. I put it that way. It can be, there's times where that can be a good thing, there's times where that can be a bad thing, but it's something that I have noticed the difference in how I'm treated when I have hair versus not having hair.
Never thought about that. Again, great, interesting insight. I could definitely see how that could be the case. But I never thought about that dynamic for guys.
I'm bald. I can tell you, I'm bald. When I'm bald like that, I can't tell you how many times people don't came up to me like, at the bar, they kind of messing with folks over there. Like, I'm not a bouncer. I'm in here just having a good time, having a drink. I can tell you when I have hair, they ain't never came up to me with no problems. Not a once. Not
Wow.
a once.
So, black men, shaved head gives you a little more power. So, hey, we'll take it how we can. It's interesting that conversation is only relevant for us. That's the other interesting part. There's no, we're not intimidated or not intimidated the least bit by a difference in someone's hairstyle.
Nope.
Regardless of the race, it doesn't cross our mind. It just simply doesn't. So yeah, that could change like yesterday, but good luck with that. Yeah. Wow. Huh. Okay.
You got me thinking about all kind of stuff. We don't went in so many different directions.
And it's all hair related. That's
Right.
the thing. Hair is such a basis for a lot. Hair is directly tied to our esteem. People judge you by your hair. People judge you by appearance. And one of the first things they're going to do is look at your hair. We want to put people in boxes as soon as we meet them so we can figure out if we can relate or not relate. And hair is definitely one of the first things that we use to put people in a certain box, for better or for worse.
Yep.
So, yeah. Wow. Good stuff. Well, my last question is not hair related purposefully. I don't know if you've watched an entire episode, but I do this at the end. I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe one day these answers will end up compiled in research or but I have a theory that I'll share once we're off camera. And I'm taking this opportunity to ask this question that I started asking people a couple years ago because I have a bit of a theory around it. What is your very, very, very first memory, period, ever in life? Like as a toddler, kid, what is your very first memory?
Wow. My very first memory. I feel like I can see the place, but I can't see what the very first memory is. I honestly, I think the very first memory I have is I remember grabbing some money off my mama's dresser and flushing it down the toilet. And you met my mom. Um, she vowed that I was going to have to pay that money back, and when I was 18, I had to pay that money back. Believe it or not. I
How old?
How old? My neck hurt. My neck hurt. I flushed some money down the toilet. I picked it up, and my mom was pissed. And I shouldn't be old enough to even remember, but I remember doing it. I was like, I remember grabbing it and flushing it down the toilet for whatever reason. I remember this. And she told me all through high school, oh yeah, you paying me back one day. You paying me back one day. Well, when I got 18 or whatever it was, I remember she was like, run it.
Yeah.
Run it. And
With a smile.
about that to this day every now and again. So that was probably my first memory, is flushing mom's money down the toilet.
That's not fun.
And rest assured, we didn't have the money to be flushing down those toilets. We still ain't got the money to be flushing down the toilet. So I know they didn't have it in the late 70s.
Wow. Look, so that wasn't
I was like three, I think.
Yeah, you took that saying, we don't have money to be flushing down the drain. Here you are flushing it down the drain. You took that a little too literal, my man. A little too literal.
Oh my God, I still, yep.
That'll do it. Okay.
I don't even know how I remember that. I just remember it.
I like that. We'll definitely have a brief discussion about that once we wrap up here. I like that. Great insight. Great. Well, this has been a wonderful, wonderful hair conversation. I know you were like, what we gonna talk about hair? I ain't got no hair. But everyone can relate to hair, and hair plays a major role in everyone's life, whether or not you like it, don't like it, have it, used to have it. So thank you. Thank you
for the opportunity to support you in your endeavors. You know, I will always support you. And that's and you doing these and having your friends and colleagues and family members do these, just another testament to you. And like I said, the authenticity that you are and what you bring starting way back. And I ain't gonna say starting back then, that's just when I was introduced to you and starting there for me. That don't start, you didn't get to college and all of a sudden become authentic. This had to be you in high school and just your upbringing. So it's my pleasure to be able to support you as my sister, my friend, in doing what you're doing. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. You're so supportive. I'm very blessed to have extremely, extremely good friends in my life, and you are definitely in that category. And just so you know, the luxurious massaging shampoo bed and the services that Rooted in Dallas will provide are also available to guys. And they're also available to people with shaved or bald heads. It's a head spa, and a head spa, it originated in in Japan. It's a Japanese method. And the whole concept is we are nourishing your scalp, hair. There's massages, neck, shoulder massages, lymphatic draining, hot towel facial for the guys or ladies who come with no makeup. So it's an all-encompassing experience, not just getting your hair done. And the different massage techniques that I have, the different tools, the different products, it's going to help stimulate your scalp, which is always good just for optimal blood flow, all that good stuff. So men can still benefit from this wonderful treatment. And then it's a good reset. It's like a salon mixed with a spa. You've got the light or low lights, you got the candles going, the massage bed itself, or the shampoo bed itself massages you like you're sitting in a pedicure chair, except it's a bed. You've got the leg lift, compression on your arms, your legs, all that good stuff. Water halo, so you put it over there and just have it. Nice. So next time you're in Dallas, you know you have a spot in the shampoo bed. Tammy knows she got a spot in the shampoo bed. Mama Vera knows she got a spot in the shampoo bed. So you know me, I love to be a great host. I love to serve. And I'm really excited that I have a new venture that I can help bring a new experience to my friends, family, and new people that I find along the way. So it's 15 minutes away from the airport too, not far at all.
You know I'm there. If I'm in town, ain't no way I'm coming in town and not seeing you and stopping through. So that's a done deal. That's in the future point. That's a future appointment that's going to happen, not a if.
Definitely.
It'll be happening. So.
Definitely. Well, thank you again, and you have an awesome day, awesome weekend, and we might be able to see each other soon.
I like that. You do the same. Be blessed and thanks.
All right, Curt. Thank you.